We don't have to wait for the mayor.
Okay,
We're live.
necessarily address that.
Okay,
No.
call this to order. We're gonna review the agenda. We have 3 consents tonight. Okay, resolution 126.
Yeah. That's true, it is on the 30 days statute that we're not, yeah.
Resolution adopting the minutes from the last common council meeting. Any questions? No? Okay. Resolution 2526-127, resolution reappointing member to the City of Amsterdam Planning Commission, Kelly.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to reappoint Amy Jo Stewart, 6 Crescent Ave, Amsterdam. Resolution 2526-128, resolution reappointing member of the City of Amsterdam Planning Commissioner. We're reappointing to the Planning Commissioner, Kathy Caluso.
Yep.
Chris will sponsor. Resolution 2526-129, resolution authorizing payment of claims totaling $149.09 to Peter Califano for damage to mailboxes at 15 Sylvia Lane. Alderwoman Quist-Morris.
Yes, this is, a situation there, that's caused damage, we're looking into rectifying the situation with, the people who plow, making sure that it doesn't get hit in the future, but we are gonna, the constituent asked that we pay the replacement costs of this, and, as an act of goodwill, we're gonna do that.
Would you, so Peter told me to talk to you,
Mhm.
and he told me about your idea, and for, like accountability and everything, and I thought it was a really good idea. Are you comfortable sharing it now? Or do you want more time to talk about it?
What do you mean? Which idea?
Something about proactively,
Oh, no, yeah, that would be
so
the
we
future, I
become
think.
more safety conscious when we're going plowing and stuff.
I don't know if I mean, I know that we were gonna have the engineer come out and look at it.
I looked at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I may be honest,
Of course.
Please do.
may I?
Yes, sir.
We ought to buy 3 because we're gonna hit it again where it's at. And I am not being glib. I'm just not. It's on a bend. It's a tough spot to plow. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm sorry it comes across that way. But it's in a spot where with a wing, when you're swinging like that, it may not happen every year. I live in the country, so it's a different situation. I will say, I lose 2 mailboxes a year, every year. It's a tough, it's a little bit different, a lot more snow, but I can't guarantee that they're gonna miss that mailbox next year or next week. And I'm really not trying to be rude.
Can he place it somewhere else on the property, away from the?
Honestly, if it was maybe just even a foot back, it might help a lot, right? Even if it was just a foot further back into his lawn from where it is, I do believe that the postal carrier could reach it from the vehicle.
That was his only concern because they don't have walkers there. They drive up.
No, I know.
I'll either Kelly or I could gladly talk to him about moving it a foot back.
Honestly, if they move the
If
post,
you think,
That
if you think a
part's
foot went back, a foot
Yeah,
would
I'm
stop
sure you
it.
would definitely do that, yeah.
where it is it's more or less at where at the edge of pavement, or very close, right? And that edge of pavement is indistinct in the snow, especially a good snowstorm.
I mean, I'm sure the
Nobody's
number of
doing it
mailboxes.
on purpose at all. It's the same way that certain curbs get torn up during big storms.
If there was one complaint that I get consistently about the plow drivers, and everybody appreciates the job they do, so don't take this the wrong way, is that they go way too fast. And I understand why. They got a whole city to do, and they only got so much time to do it, but.
Well, I've heard it too, and I'll tell you, because of the layout of the city itself, and the fact that we can't use large trucks, yeah, on many of the streets, either due to the steepness or the narrowness of the street. When we get deep snow, if you're not carrying some momentum with a 1-ton essentially pickup
Couldn't agree
truck,
more.
you can't move that snow. That's not the case with, many snowstorms, but when you get a big snowstorm, if you're not carrying some momentum, read that to be some speed to plow, it'll stop it. So there's gotta be, these guys have done it for a long time. I'm not saying anybody's perfect, but I have to be honest.
Well, it doesn't make it easier
If
when-
you're, if we're driving a tandem truck that grosses out at 65,000 pounds with a load on it and a wing, you can crawl.
It makes it harder for them when we have cars not adhering to the alternate parking and when. people slow down into the
And we were
road.
lucky,
I mean, I've seen plows go by, clear the street, and then an hour later, seen people snow blowing all their snow into the
back
street.
into the street.
well, and Amsterdam police did a
That's a
hell of
call
a
for
job,
us. Yeah.
really keeping
We
that.
respond to that very often.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
I tell residents all the time, like, did you call the police? Like,
You respond to snow going back into the street or the parking?
because it's against the law.
Okay.
It's a vehicle in traffic.
Okay.
We can issue a uniform traffic ticket.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a
Okay.
violation of the city code as well.
Got two questions, one for you, one for you, if I may. How many mailboxes, maybe an odd question, but how many mailboxes would you say that we destroy over the course of a given winter? And I'll tell you why,
I
I'll
don't
tell you
know
why.
of any.
I don't know if this is opening the door
I
to
know that
fixing
this has
every
happened
single
at this
mailbox that
location
gets
before.
broken
But I don't
Well, this
offhand.
is the third mailbox,
for him.
yes.
Well, the previous owner, so prior to you guys on the council, the previous owner of this house had it knocked down, I think, and we talked about
Yeah,
it.
we had no record of that.
No, but we paid it,
We had no record of the check going to.
because it was the,
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we checked it.
I mean, we passed a resolution for it, and at the time, we talked about how there's really aren't that many houses with mailboxes like that. So that's why we did it at that time. It
I
was the
don't
first
think
time
it's a
we
lot of
hadn't played in
mailboxes.
a while,
I
yeah.
think it's,
Most
You'd be
houses have it
surprised.
on the house, yeah. So that
but it
was
is
the thing.
particular one, it got taken out last year too.
Because we discussed at the time, like when I worked for Schenectady County, counties, they plow a lot and you have a lot that get knocked down. And we had a like $30 flat rate. If somebody reached out to the engineer and said, I got knocked down, and they sent the receipt, we would just give them $30. It was a budget line. But we opted not to do anything like that because we didn't think we would really have this problem very often.
Maybe it's worth considering putting it in a budget line and then just moving the money back.
Well, that was what Peter brought up about one of Kelly's ideas that
Oh,
seemed
that
like a very
idea.
good idea. That, we had a budget line to take care of things like this. Kind of like a contingency in case we had something that we had to take responsibility for. And I thought it was a great idea. The town of Amsterdam, they don't pay for mailboxes either, by charter. But whenever somebody calls them, they give them $25 towards a new mailbox. Because it's not, you have some mailboxes that are only $25.
Yeah.
But you have some in really nice neighborhoods, it might be $200, But for them, it's a courtesy type thing. They will do it out of courtesy. I checked with the highway supervisor to this, so it's cool.
Well, we can check to see if he, will move his box.
We'll check to see if it moves the box.
We got a question in the back.
Well, it just might be
Yes.
something, we might want to reach out to the post office, because I believe that the post office tells people where they can and can't put their mailbox if they live in neighborhoods that don't have sidewalks.
Right.
So if he was informed, it must be there. Like, I don't have a sidewalk in my neighborhood, my mailbox is on my house. And I believe if a new build happened there, the post office would say, oh, no, it has to be on the road, even though the carriers do both. Just to figure out how many you could be potentially opening up the can for.
So Kelly or I could definitely have that
Yeah.
conversation. Thank you,
This is
Chief.
for $150, huh?
Well, 'cause
Sort
it's
of.
two years of it.
All set?
Yep.
Okay, resolution 2526-31, resolution approving the audit. The audit is fine. We have our consents. Consent 2526-131, resolution authorizing the 2026 fees for recreation department events and activities. Kelly?
And these are the ones Rob gave us a couple weeks ago.
So, yeah.
Yes, we had our recreation meeting last night. Everybody in the group agreed with the prices, Rob gave the same update that he gave to us about the different vendors. This shows how, we're not selling out as quickly as we used to, so we don't see any reason to raise it any higher for the vendor pricing, and the event sponsorships as well. So, everybody was in agreement of it last night, and that's what we were looking for, I think, to go forward.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Resolution 2526-132 consent. Resolution authorizing the issuance of $5,978,444 bond of the City of Amsterdam, Montgomery County, New York, to pay the cost of the construction of a new building to be used as a community center in and for said city. Dan, would you like to speak?
So I think this is more of a timeline issue, I believe, but we had money set aside to build a new community center. We're looking to bring the cost down right now. We don't know exactly when we get started, but we're looking to get the bond resolution passed so that we can, when ready, be able to actually borrow for the project.
So,
Doesn't mean we're gonna borrow the full amount either.
so this is part of the DRI project, so we're getting this money back?
Yes, it's DRI,
I just want to clarify for the people watching at home.
yeah, it's DRI, HCR, and HUD.
And all the money back then?
Yeah, this is all reimbursable grant.
Wonderful, thank you.
There's not an address on here. Of where the event would, where the community center would be.
It's right next to the current Central Civic Building.
Right,
It's
so
Right
it's that
across the
one.
street from St. Mary's.
Yeah, does that need to be in there, or, yeah?
Would be a good idea to do that.
Because when I read it, I was like, are we talking about the Creative Connections Community Center or the Central Civic Community Center? So, because we do have the two projects,
You want to make an amendment to?
I don't know, I don't know, do we need it?
I mean, I don't see any problem with clarifying it in
Yeah.
that manner.
Okay,
I think we should.
so.
Dan, do you know the
amended-
physical address, the actual address
Is
of
it gonna change
Main
the,
Street?
Right, it's
I
gonna
don't
be a new
think so.
address.
well, with the lots behind it, I don't know if Dan will, no, that shouldn't change. Nice.
Can we identify it physically, corner, something like that, since we don't have an address number for sure?
That's Hamilton Street there, and Washington Street's the other one, the block.
I mean,
So
even
it
if
would
you
be
don't
on
have an address, you could just describe.
Located,
Formerly known as Johnny Seafood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like
So what
maybe
are we
in
gonna say?
section 1, we're paying the cost of construction of a new building to be used as a community center.
At the former site of, what was formerly there? Well, it's been a couple of things.
Johnny Seafood is the most.
It has, it
common, right?
was, but I mean, there's people who don't know where Johnny Seafood was, or what it is.
So can we
Believe it or
do
not,
the
I'm
street,
not old enough.
Hamilton, located in the
What's the
vicinity of
corner right next
Hamilton?
to, what's the street right next to the
Corner
park?
of Main Street and Hamilton?
So can we just say Main Street,
East
Hamilton,
Main,
Yes.
East Main and Hamilton.
East Main and Hamilton?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to,
149 East Main Street.
That's
Thank you,
gonna
Dan.
be the official address?
That's the official address, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
149 East Main Street. Okay, so it's going to go after a community center.
But isn't the front door on that facing
Hamilton?
Hamilton?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
For the new design, there's gonna be doors in both.
but the main entrance is facing Hamilton, if I remember correctly. From the original.
Yeah, I guess, it was so the old address was 149.
Exactly.
I think for purposes of this resolution,
We can say 149
all of
East
the
Main.
above, I mean,
Okay.
whichever way
Okay.
you want to do it.
All right, so it's going to be after, used as a community center located
At 149 East Main Street,
149
At the
East
site
Main
occupied by.
including incidental expenses in connection wherein, yeah,
and Hamilton.
okay.
So. So how do we change this? Can we change it now or
You gotta do it.
We'll do it.
at the meeting we'll do it? Okay.
Just
So
gotta
we'll have to make a motion.
make a motion to amend and vote on it.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Resolution 2526-133 consent. Resolution authorizing the issuance of $725,000 additional bonds of the City of Amsterdam, Montgomery County, New York, to pay a portion of the $4,199,000 estimated maximum cost of the reconstruction of roads, part of the complete street projects in and for said city. Any questions?
Dan did a great job explaining it. So did Mike.
No? Okay.
Do you want to just do a quick summary of it, Dan, for the
Yeah,
record?
so we put some money aside for, to do the, complete streets project, which we're redoing on East Main, and Bridge Street. In addition, to be able to close down, Route 5 eastbound, which we hope to eventually do. DOT is asking that we, make the part of Skylar that is, I guess you'd say, south of Main Street, a two-way street. So this is to cover the cost of the complete streets and to make that into a two-way road.
And just, this is the part in front of Dr. Rao's office where you, standing next to Stewart's, and you can't go towards River Street to go to Riverlink Park. It actually opens it up better for vendors and everything to the park too.
It makes more sense for people who don't live here. You can't figure out our wonky streets.
Okay, so that takes care of our consents and resolutions. Committee reports, any committee reports or updates, ward updates?
Would you like to talk about the recreation convention last night? That Rich and I were both at?
Sure. It was a nice meeting. We talked about a lot of things. Soccer was there, so we went over their plan, I guess, moving forward and whatnot. See, what else did we speak about after that? The resolution on the table tonight was something that we went over, post, you know,
There's, yeah,
charges and whatnot.
there's gonna be a
And,
public meeting for elections
yeah.
for soccer, if any
Yes.
parents are interested.
We also threw around the idea, which I was really a big fan of personally, to be too partial, but we threw around the idea of streamlining the registrations throughout the city, which I think would be a nice idea for community members, parents, and coaches. Because someone brought up a point last night, it's, a lot of the times it's the same 40, 50 coaches that are coaching multiple sports. So it's nice to have one app for registry, one app for communication, keeps it all streamlined.
For background checks, for
That's
different
true.
trainings, for like who has CPR training and those types of things. There's a lot that we can collaborate on that would save each league money and also help parents and community members know what's going on. And I don't know, it was a really exciting start of it. And it's the same program that one suggestion was a program that is the same that the school district uses for their registrations for sports. So
Yeah.
if we're able to use that same program, there would be a lot of continuity for people, and we are trying to keep that continuous. So it was, yeah.
Where did they
Sounded
play
good.
soccer?
I mean, I did
That's-
a report on it.
I've been communicating with CDTA about the Five Corners project, and trying to make sure that the businesses in that area have an opportunity to discuss the project with them for clarification. It seemed to me, and I don't know if you guys got this impression, that CDTA is open to discussion about the entire project. Like putting in a bus stop someplace else and, a more convenient place that works better for that whole intersection for safety. So those meetings are taking place this week.
Cool.
Great, thank you.
Are they like public meetings or they're just coming and meeting
They're
with
coming in
the
and
business?
they're
They've made
speaking to the
appointments?
businesses.
Okay, interesting.
The business owners are working.
Yeah.
And they couldn't, I tried to arrange a meeting for all of them to come to City Hall so we could have an open meeting.
But it's too hard.
And they said that in no time, they're gonna be able to all come together at the same time.
Mhm.
So it made more sense to speak to CDTA, Mike, the taller guy that was here, for them to go in and I'll go with them
Yeah.
to talk to all of these business owners. These business owners meaning 3.
Being ready, yeah.
Well, that's great. Okay. All right. That's it for our agenda.
Great. Michael, you want to do the engineering report?
Sure. I mentioned at the last meeting, we had a bid opening coming up for the Broadway Hill sanitary sewer improvements. We did have that. If you recall, that is a project 100% funded by the developer for engineering plus construction inspection. So we are waiting for, at this point, for the developer to escrow the money for the construction plus the construction administration services. I intend to bring a resolution to award to the next meeting, assuming we have that, have received that money by then. Low bid, we received 5 bids. Low bidder, by a little bit, was Green Contracting at $250,970. I carried this one over, Water Break Citizens on us. Well, now it's really on us. They're starting to show up when we've now got temperatures in the 20s. I keep saying it just because it's worth it. If you notice water running down the middle of the street in this weather, it's probably not meltwater. Just let DPW, off hours, let the police know, or call my office, probably a water break. We know we have them out there. We can't identify them yet. We're doing that based on the telemetry that we have at the water plant and watching when you see usage at the plant change rapidly in high service or low service, it's a clear indicator that there's a demand out there that we're not accounting for. So this time of year, it's probably water break. So just anybody sees it, any constituents see it, definitely pass it on and appreciate that. The CDBD demolition project is underway. We're into the 5th house right now. I think we're on 79 Forbes at this point. They're moving the equipment over. I don't know if it started there today, but they're walking it down the street. So, we're moving along. They're still on track, I believe, for an early April completion. Street paving, I'm still keeping this one here. Again, I know it's not the ideal time, but everybody knows where the potholes are at least. So even if you got a scrap of paper in your car when you're driving around, please think about it in your ward. I would like to put that together sooner than later.
Mike, what if we need a curb on the street?
We can do curb, but we can do curb over the entire city. There's certain types of curb we can do, and then there's the traditional granite curb is so expensive, it's almost not worth paving.
But we can do like a concrete curb, if they're in a place where they don't have, they've never had a curb.
Where they've never had a curb?
Yeah.
I would want to look at that first, because if you're putting a curb where we don't have one, we then have to consider the drainage networks in those areas, as well as all the handicap accessibility points at the sidewalk corners. So yeah, it's possible, but
Big cost for the corners.
it is. And every year if we were to do it, it would be in conjunction with the ADA compliant handicap ramps that we have at the intersections.
The corner, and this is more mine and Rich's ward because it's right where they come together on Sanford.
Mhm.
And the corner of Sanford, down a little further, we have a flooding problem. And that section where kids are coming up, they get dropped off on the bus down the street. There's no safe place for them to walk because they're walking down Clisby with no curb, no sidewalk,
Mhm.
nothing. And there's quite a few kids that live in the Colonial Square apartments, and that would be Virginia Lane. And, it's something to think about.
No, we'll certainly take a look at it. And again, you know, a lot of those are good ideas and they're needed. It's just, it's worth bearing in mind that it's rarely just a curb project. It's quite often a curb and storm drainage project to deal with those situations. Because really what a curb does, other than keep someone's front lawn nice and neat, which is, I understand the benefit, it keeps water in the street. So now you've got to steer that one way or the other to a structure and remove it from the street. So you got to look at it a little more holistically than just the one specific swath of any given street. And again, I mentioned, filter work, the plan continues. Crescent Avenue Bridge is on winter hiatus. I expect that work to resume hopefully here by mid-March. God willing, and the creek doesn't rise too much. And we're still going through the review process with New York State New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for our wastewater treatment plant upgrade. They have final plans before them. And we're in that review and comment phase right now. So I'm hoping in earnest that we have a permit to construct here soon. And of course, any questions you may have.
We got some stuff going on Forest Ave this morning into evening.
We got water break.
Water break. Thank you.
That's one that showed up.
Thank you for taking care of that.
And that may be, so we have, to your point, we've had, last week, we had our, at the water treatment plant, we had our flow spike almost 400,000 gallons in the space of 5 minutes. And it stayed there for a week. That's pretty clearly a water break. We couldn't find it. I suspect that this leak on Forest is gonna be some, or hopefully all of it, but
Wow.
there's probably more out there.
Where was it in Forest?
Huh?
Where in Forest was it?
Right near Sanford, right below there.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. Thank you, Michael.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderwoman Quistamars. Here. Alderman Holliday.
Here.
Alderwoman Collins. Here. Alderman Carpenter.
Here.
Alderman Marticello.
We get a
You
motion
will not be joining us.
Motion
to adopt the agenda.
Yes. Motion to adopt the agenda
with three consents.
with 3%.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Okay, we have no proclamations this evening, so we have time for communications and presentations. I do wanna talk, because Mike made the engineering report, and we did talk about the streets program, and I do wanna bring up to the council right now something that we're considering. This week we met and did a thorough review of the capital projects that are gonna be in our capital projects plan. They amount to over $60 million, but 30 million of that is the wastewater treatment plant, and 7 million of that is getting rid of the dam at the reservoir, which is not a high priority, but is something that we would do if we could get funding for. But that puts us in the $25 million range, and we have a bunch of things, and we're timing them out. And one of the things that we need to do is to replace our existing DPW garage.
Yes.
We need to knock it down and we need to build a new one. They've looked at our engineering department, DPW, Phil Brocky, and the guys have all think it's best if we stay right where we are, knock down the old one and put up what we need, a storage facility with some additional rooms and functionality inside. And we are looking at a 4 million, right, Mike, right around 4 million?
4 million is the budget figure, yes, sir.
So, part of that is
$4
$1
million to
million.
tear down and build up.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Chris?
4 million to tear down and build up.
Yeah. So $1 million of it is to demolish the building. And one of the abilities that we would have is to utilize CHIPS funding for that. Now, we don't know if it's gonna be $1 million. We don't, for sure. Mike, you're gonna get a demolition.
I'm working on
He's
that.
working on it. And we'll have a hard number. But because we have $25 million worth of other projects, we got 3 ways to go that we're looking at: using surplus money, using grants, and borrowing. So we've got a lot to balance out. And one of the things that we can do is utilize CHIPS funding for the DPW garage. If we this year, because we did not spend $470,000 of our last year's CHIPS, and because we're getting the same amount as we did last year, we're anticipating to have as much as $2.7 million in the CHIPS fund. So that if we needed to use $1 million of it to demolish a garage, which is permissible under the CHIPS, it would give us 1.7 million to do on the streets. So I wanted you to start thinking about that, because like we did last year, we took a big chunk of it and used it on Market Street. Mike has got your list of streets. He's asking you for recommendations. Continue to give him those recommendations, but I'm gonna approach the council, most likely at some point with a recommendation that you take a look at it and say, do we want to do this or not? Okay, that's all I wanted to bring up.
Yeah. Like with the CHIPS funding, we can't pave a road that's been paved in the last 10 years, correct?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, so we have hit a significant
36 miles.
portion, yeah. And I know we used to have that, Zach made that map, maybe he could update that too, as
We
to-
do update that. and
Okay.
We have just recently, if you want me to share that at the next meeting.
I love that map.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I think the most recent one I have is a couple of years old, that can really show constituents how old the paving is on the streets and whether we can use it for the CHIPS funding or
Yeah,
not.
and our
Because we are,
DPW.
I don't want to say we're running out of streets to use, I'm
No,
probably,
no.
but, we have
We
hit
can certainly
the
spend
main
all
ones.
2.7 on
Sure.
streets, there's no doubt about it, but we are under, the insurance company, I mean, literally wants us to get out of that
Yeah.
building.
Well, it's
It's been a
flooding.
disaster, it is a disaster.
Yeah,
And we need to get out of there, and we need to give them a clean new building to work in, and,
it's
You know,
also a big entryway to our city.
it was also an entryway to our city.
And so
Very
we
good point,
certainly
Cal.
wanna,
Very
like,
good point, yeah.
In the design, factor that in
And I,
too.
it's not the
What
best
people
working
see.
conditions. It's a
Yeah, it's
horrible
terrible working conditions, yeah.
I wanted to bring that out now so you could think about it, because we probably will be coming back to you with a recommendation that you will ask your vote on, okay?
Took a tour of there once, Mayor, to your point, and I was actually astonished at the condition that it was in.
Yeah.
So something definitely needs to be done, so thank you for bringing that up.
That's all I have. Has anyone else got anything in this part of the meeting? Then we're on to the public participation section. And so if you have something to address the council with, please approach the podium, give us your name and address. You have 5 minutes to make your case or make your statement.
Commissioner Darrell, James City, New York. There remains a need to have meeting space in City Hall for constituents to meet with council members. The bench, while useful, is not adequate, and there should be room made available. Consider making this space available to the county legislators with districts in Amsterdam to get the county to put in some money on this. Also, a clear time limit should be made available after council meetings to allow the public to lobby/fraternize with the council, administration, and among themselves. We need access for all without ambiguity as to how long we can meet after council meetings. And to that end, I suggest a 30-minute limit, attendance being optional for all of you. I demand that technical information for the new and old streetlights be made available to city residents. Put this information on the city website so all can see. Light pollution is a real problem. The fact that the city government and administration has not yet done so tells me 2 things. One, you you do not care to make basic information available to city residents. And two, the city government is not treating environmental concerns with the attention they deserve. I demand 2 train quiet zones be implemented in the city, one at Quist and the one at Guy Park Mansion. If you made the Director of Community and Economic Development position held by Daniel Gray a residency requirement, then I'm sure he will be working on this issue and respond to the public. I demand the dog barking ordinance be changed to actually stop owners from letting their dogs bark. I demand the council pass the, quote, protecting animals and reducing fireworks noise pollution resolution, unquote, because animals don't deserve to be tortured and the environment needs protection from the explosions and air pollution. I advocate for the green corridor across the city and protection of trees. Enough with the deforestation. Now on to the urgent subject of the never-ending criminal impunity by U.S. presidents whose actions speak for all of us, whether we like it or not. As it has been 250 years of criminal impunity. Today has been 30 days since the invasion of Venezuela. 30 days. And has anybody called for his release in the Democratic Party or Republican Party? No. I continue to demand a letter by this council and mayor to be sent to every state and federal legislator above you, and President Trump, demanding the immediate freedom of the kidnapped, democratically elected President of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. The letter must also include the demand for the legalization of the coca leaf, a native superfood that has been on this continent before the arrival of Europeans. The charges and lies about drug trafficking are bogus. How much longer will we allow U.S. military presidents to invade countries and murder over this drug war fabrication and attack our domestic population, by the way, which you also don't seem to care about? The U.S. Constitution gives impunity for U.S. presidents' war crimes. Impeachment is near meaningless, and international treaties are resisted and ignored by both halves of the duopoly. There is no justice in this country that is possible from above or by either half of the duopoly winning elections. That is why this council must act and why the public must back this letter, which must spread nationally. Stop attacking Venezuela. Stop attacking Cuba. Stop murdering Iranians. Stop murdering Palestinians. Stop murdering Somalians, Lebanese, Syrians, and stop facilitating Israeli crimes. Stop U.S. imperialism by all means necessary.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to present? Okay, we did the engineering report. Any old business, please? Okay, so we're on to new business, and we start with the resolutions.
Resolution 2526-126, resolution adopting minutes from last common council meeting by Alderwoman Collins. So moved. Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-127, resolution reappointing member to the City of Amsterdam Planning Commission by Alderwoman Quistamars. Whereas a member on the Planning Commission's term has expired, therefore be it resolved, the following individual is hereby reappointed to the Planning Commission effective immediately with a term expiring April 30th, 2030. Amy Jo Stewart, 6 Crescent Avenue, Amsterdam, New York, 12010.
So moved. Any discussion? I'll call the roll.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-128, resolution reappointing member to the City of Amsterdam Planning Commission by Alderman Carpenter. Whereas a member on the Planning Commission's term has expired, therefore be it resolved, the following individual is hereby reappointed to the Planning Commission effective immediately with a term expiring June 30th, 2030. Kathy Peluso, 284 Guy Park Avenue, Amsterdam, New York, 12010.
So moved. Any discussion?
And I know the council joins me in thanking these people for, again, taking on this responsibility. It's not an easy responsibility. It takes a lot of time, effort, and they take a lot of flack at times, and they do it for free. So really appreciate both these ladies saying they would do it again.
Call the roll, Dave.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-129, resolution authorizing payment of claims totaling $149.09 to Peter Califano for damage to mailboxes at 15 Sylvia Lane by Alderwoman Quista Mars.
So moved. Any discussion? Can you please call the roll?
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
No.
Alderwoman Collins.
Abstain.
Alderman Carpenter.
Does not carry.
Resolution number 2526-130, resolution approving audit by Alderwoman Collins.
So moved. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-131, consent. Resolution authorizing 2026 fees for Recreation Department events and activities by Alderwoman Quista Mars. Whereas the Tourism, Marketing, and Recreation Department is requesting to finalize rates for all 2026 events and activities. Whereas the Common Council can discuss, edit, and ratify the attached rates for all 2026 events. Now therefore be it resolved that the above referenced rates as seen in attachments are accepted and authorized by the Common Council.
So moved. Any discussion? I'd like to thank Rob and Michelle for their hard work on this. Can we call the roll?
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-132, consent. Resolution authorizing the issuance of $5,978,444 bonds of the City of Amsterdam, Montgomery County, New York, to pay the cost of the construction of a new building to be used as a community center in and for said city by Alderwoman Collins.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to add an address.
Make your motion.
We're gonna add, located at, after, let's see, a new building to be used as a community center located at 149 East Main and Hamilton Avenue is to be added.
Any discussion on the motion? Can we get a roll call, please?
On the motion.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Vote on the resolution.
And then to go as amended, Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-133, consent. Resolution authorizing the issuance of $725,000 additional bonds of the City of Amsterdam, Montgomery County, New York, to pay a portion of the $4,199,000 estimated maximum cost of the reconstruction of roads, part of complete street projects in and for said city by Alderwoman Collins.
Okay. You can read down at the resolve.
Now therefore be it resolved.
Yes.
Now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City as follows. Section 1, for paying $725,000 portion of the cost of the reconstruction of roads, part of complete street project, and incidental expenses in connection therewith, there are hereby authorized to be issued $725,000 bonds of the city pursuant to the provision of the local finance law.
So moved. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quista Mars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Mayor Sequati, did we want to speak about?
Yes, you can. You can do it.
Well, I don't know the
Bring it up. I think
details,
it's a
but
great
I'll
idea.
give like the grand overview, I guess, to everybody. So the state passed a law that's gonna be enacted, and I guess go into effect in,
2027.
it's gonna be late
It's
2026.
in effect now, but we have to adopt it.
Yes.
Right, and so
That's what he was trying to get at, is saying if we adopt it, we'll.
For sure.
Act in the
He-
27th.
Yeah, I spoke with him, he said it wasn't even gonna go into effect until October, but beside the point, yes. we have to adopt it as a city. So the state came up with the law, and essentially what it is that it allows 100% disabled veterans to receive a property tax exemption, full and complete. Now granted, the bar is kind of high, but I feel like it would be personally a wonderful thing for the city to extend that. I think that it is a state law and it's up to each municipality to pass. So we're gonna discuss this more and
We are,
hopefully.
we, again, the assessor looked at it, he came up with the actual cost, we'll send that out to the aldermen, so you'll see it.
Yes,
But I do think, Alderman Holliday's idea is a good one, and, we'll get it out to you, and we'll have a resolution ready for that.
I mean, as I understand it, you're sponsoring a legislation to introduce this.
it would probably be it would be the route, yes.
I'll get with you, happy to do it for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, good, that's all for me. Thank you, good.
Anything else?
No.
All right, so motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Kelly, will you keep track of when we get that?
Yeah, I didn't, I didn't have Stacy pronounce a thing, so it was my bad on that, but.
But also, Judy, so we want,
Sure.